Well, my name's Simon Cropp, and this is my dear friend Cece. We're gonna be playing some original music and songs I made up, maybe a couple songs other people made up. I'm gonna tell you right now, we have absolutely no plan and very little idea what we're doing. We're at the end of a run here, and we're both a little. Well, I'll tell you what, I love a Sunday that feels like a Sunday. You know what I mean? So that's what we're gonna be doing. We invite you to, thanks for coming to the listening room. That means you're going to sit and listen to us. That's a really nice thing to do. We do work pretty hard on this music, and it means a lot when people pay attention to it. However, you're also at one of my favorite bars in southern Minnesota, The Shoe, so I'd encourage you to, if your drink runs dry, stand up and go get another one. If you need a smoke, go ahead and step outside for a smoke. And if you got something really important to tell your buddy, you can go ahead and tell it to him. We aren't going to be too worked up about anything like that. Is this anybody's first time at the Shoe? Yeah. Anybody's been here before? The rest of you. I love this place. As soon as it opened, I've been hearing about it for like a couple of years because I like to loiter at the Forager Brewery. And all my friends there were real excited about it. And I was excited about it too because I trust those people. And shortly after the Shoe opened, which is January, I think, of this year, right? I was on my way through town and got a really unreasonable afternoon buzz. Because there were just too many good things to try on the menu. And we're keeping it in the pocket this afternoon, but, a reasonable buzz is a really good thing to have. Isn't it? Isn't that a really nice thing, just a reasonable buzz? I've been thinking about the first beer of the day. And I think that might be one of my favorite beers. But I got a few favorite beers. The first beer of the day. The beer that you're drinking with a friend you haven't seen for a long time. That's a nice beer to drink. And my other favorite beer is the beer you drink when you sneak away from a family event. Just to get 15 minutes to yourself and you drink one real fast and hope nobody smells it on you. Okay, I think that's enough talking for now. I went too fast and I got tired. Gotta quit this job before I get fired. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Wanna go home. I wanna go home where the dinner bell's ringing. Home on the front porch swinging. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home and see my baby there around the house in love and lazy. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go start to swing. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Yes, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home. We could live here if you'd ever stop leaving, dear. If you had a damn to give here, we could settle on down. I know you got the itch, mama. You gonna do whatever you want, romance or melodrama. It's your paperback dream. Homestead County, oh, late summer, a rusted out forerunner, big leaf maple, a day on the golden road. A Ford Ranger without a town plates, you'll know her by the sound she makes, running down autumn together in the North Cascades. You said we could live here if you'd ever stop leaving, dear. If you had a damn to give here, we could settle on down. I know you got the itch, mama. You gonna do whatever you wanna, romance or melodrama. It's your paperback dream. Come on, buddy, get what they came for. Northern lights in an alpine clearing, it held me close with dawn nearing. The air got thinner, the promise of a winter flame. It sounds like a love letter, a fictional life together. No bad weather, you told me it would never rain. You said we could live here if you'd ever stop leaving, dear. If you had a damn to give here, we could settle on down. I know you got the itch, mama. You gonna do whatever you want, romance or melodrama. It's your paperback dream. Thank you. Boy, oh boy. That's a song, it's a title track of the album I put out last October called Paperback Dream. I got that for sale over on the merch table. Look at me trying to sell you something already. I got brand new t-shirts too. I'm real excited about them. A friend up in Duluth designed them. I just sent him one prompt, and it was that I'd like to see kind of a retro car dealership with a Ford Ranger parked out front. My favorite vehicle ever was a Ford Ranger. It was a 2008, but it was a fleet vehicle, and so it was like the bare bones package, you know. crank windows and radio, no electronics of any sort really besides the radio and the starter. And yes, yep. So I could hose it out, which boy did I ever need to. And I love that truck. It took me from Decorah, Iowa, out to Portland, Oregon, where I lived for 6 years, and back and forth, and all over the West Coast and through the Mountain West. And I, it was perhaps the first thing I ever loved. I love people, but I didn't love any objects until I got that truck. And then one summer I fell in love with the human being. And through the chaos of that emotional experience, didn't realize that I had an oil leak in that truck. And after letting it sit for 2 weeks of being a passenger in my new love interest vehicle, went to drive that truck to a gig, and about half an hour from home, it started to sound like a blender full of nuts and bolts, And I was like, fuck, what? I don't really even have time to look into this. I think I just got to sort of muscle through, turn the radio up, and finally I got to the gig and played it, and then went to, it was a wonderful gig, and we stayed the night there, and I didn't remember my problem until the next morning, and I woke up early and was like, oh, shit, I got a problem to deal with, I think. Checked the oil, and it was just bone dry. And that was the end of that pickup. I held on to it for 5 years until I sold it a couple months ago. And you can buy its likeness there on that T-shirt. That's the. I guess that's why I brought it up. I'm going to do a traveling song now I wrote with my friend Claire Doyle. Are there any Claire Doyle fans in Rochester, Minnesota this afternoon? Yeah, you can make noise. That's all right. Claire's a dear friend and collaborator. I have the pleasure of playing pedal steel in her band whenever she's in the Midwest, which is increasingly rare. She moved down to New Orleans, as so many of the good people do, and like any good people in a good place, they stay there. So I'm afraid I won't be seeing too much of her, but you never know. Claire and I wrote this song thinking about that inspiring drive between Omaha, Nebraska and Denver, Colorado. Sounds like some of you had the pleasure of doing that one before. You see, me and Cece, we're in the transportation business, so we love watching those mile markers fly by. Halfway to Denver and the sun's coming up. I'm riding fast across the plain. Something tells me I'm not running fast enough to a town where they don't know my name. I let the jukebox get the best of me last night. I let the wild side take the wheel. Thought I'd stay a while, settle down this time. But she and I weren't made for sitting still. Maybelline, angel of the road. Funny how the chaos takes control. You come to me when I'm moaning low. A wild seed scattered to be sown. I'm never on my own. Reputation has a way of catching up, and I hear bad news travels fast. I leave the rumors coughing in the gravel dust, and I keep one foot on the gas. Maybelline, angel of the road. Funny how the chaos takes control. You come to me when I'm moaning low. Your name's the only prayer that I know. I'm never on my own. Lake Charles to San Antonio, Junction on to El Paso. This one-trick pony only knows how to ride away. Maybelline, angel of the road. Funny how the chaos takes control. You come to me when I'm moaning low. Your name's the only prayer that I know. I'm never on my own. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody here quit a job recently? Anybody thinking about it? Yeah, let's hear it for the quitters. That's right. Yes. I think quitting a job is one of the most important things we can do as employees. It's good to remind the boss who's in charge every once in a while. Hell, I quit this job just about every day. Get rehired around 5 or 6 o'clock. I'm really sticking it to my boss. I've been up all night driving for a job that don't pay. It feeds me in the nighttime, burns in the day. Our love is leaving, I don't know what for. Blow me a kiss and walk out the door. The first shift is over when the second begins. Wintertime travel, a November wind. Time passes quickly, the third shift don't end. I'm resigned to a letter I wrote but won't send. It's T for too tired to work today. T for time off with too little pay. T for trouble knows no end. When you see I'm coming close to quitting, again. I know that I'm spent when I can't tell you why. I know that I'm broken, I can't bear to cry. I know you've been working and you're worn out too. Honey, ain't we a picture painted all shades of blue? T for too tired to work today. T for time off for too little pay. T for trouble knows no end. When you see I'm coming close to quitting again. Thank you very much. This is my best friend, CC Cosgrove, on the mandolin. All the way from Chicago, Illinois. I think I'll switch guitars now. You guys doing all right so far? Okay, if there's anything we could do to be more entertaining, you can write it on the back of a $20 bill and hand it to CC. We'll try our best. We'll do anything but accents. We're terrible at them. Try and tune this thing. Please put your hands together for Eric on the sound there, man. That's just... It is such a relief to walk into a room and know we're going to be well taken care of. Because believe it or not, in the glamorous life of show business, that's not always the case. But to know that we're in the hands of a professional is really a delight. Thank you so much, buddy, for having us here and being such an attentive engineer. Yeah, you bet. I'm going to have a sip of beer, I think. You might want to think about doing that, too.
Cheers.
It's not all bad news, though. Sometimes people fall in love. We're going to play a love song now that originates not too far from here. In the valley of the Kickapoo River. There in southwest Wisconsin. Sounds like I made up that name, but I didn't. Somebody else did. And Cece and I have been lucky to do a lot of miles together. And in doing this for work, you know, sometimes you come across a place where you immediately feel like you've been meant to be here for a long time and you just haven't quite found your way there yet. One of those places is the, what's it called again?
Kickapoo.
Larry Fest there in Lafarge, Wisconsin. Anybody go to the Larry Fest, Bluegrass Festival? It's a tremendous. I shouldn't even be telling you about it because they can't take on any more people. It's in a real narrow coulee there, and it's just absolutely beautiful country. And they bring in bluegrass bands from all over, and they treat us real well there too. So we like going back. We wrote this song for them, inspired by a love story that we were told when we were there once. A little bit of good news, CC. How about it? 1, 2, 3. I got trouble in mind, I got a troubled heart. It's far too long that we've been apart. Listen close to what I'll do. I'll follow you to the valley of the Kickapoo. Bring your fiddle, friend, bring your bow. Won't you tell me that hard times will come again no more? From a little back porch into the big old state, from the middle of the night to the break of day, we'll be singing how sweet does it feel to know that true love is a thing that's real between two old friends like me and you. And we found it down in the valley of the Kickapoo. It was here we met some years ago. I was singing the blues, I was way down low. We danced in the sunshine through all the rain. For all the love that I've lost, there's some I gained. And now we're singing how sweet does it feel to know that true love is a thing that's real between two old friends like me and you. And we found it down in the valley of the Kickapoo. Yeah, we found it down in the valley of the Kickapoo. All right. Thank you. Isn't that nice to hear about? All right. Anything else I want to do on this thing? I told you earlier we truly have no idea what we're going to be doing here.
We wouldn't have known if you didn't tell us.
Well, I told you anyway, man. I'm an open book. Okay, cool. That's good. Does it sound all right to you, CC?
I can't hear anything. I don't know what we're doing.
I'm going to switch guitars again just to give Eric a workout. I'm getting ready to record another album here next month. And so I got a batch of new songs, and I'm going to try a bunch of them out on you tonight. I hope that's all right. Let's see here. I've always imagined that heaven exists somewhere in western Wisconsin. Buffalo County, to be exact. You know where that is? Just south of where the Chippewa River meets the Mississippi River. It's tremendous country, and I just last month moved there to continue my investigation of whether or not heaven does exist there in Buffalo County. And in this fantasy of mine, somewhere over there exists a hotel bar. And this bar books music 7 nights a week. But I'm the only act they ever book, and so I can get the gig whenever I want, for as many nights in a row as I want, which means I can leave my gear set up, don't need to work too hard. And that gig comes with a hotel room. And that hotel room comes with both a shower and a washer-dryer unit. You see, I lived most of my life in a Toyota Sienna minivan, so a gig that comes with a washer-dryer unit's about as high as I can aim. And at this bar, there's a real friendly group of regulars that comes out. No matter how many times they've seen me play, they come out. No matter how many times they've done it, they buy a CD every night. I don't think some of them even have CD players. They're just that kind of people. That's something I'm trying to spread around. You don't need a CD player to buy a CD. That's one of those things you can lie about, and nobody's going to be, too worked up about it. No one will know. We'll keep your secret if you buy a CD from us and don't have a CD player. Anyway, this bar does not exist. But I was listening to the radio one afternoon, and they had a yoga teacher on talking about something called manifestation. You guys heard of this? It's where you imagine the outcome of an event that hasn't happened yet in hopes of bringing about the result you'd like to see. And so I decided I better try and manifest this bar by at least giving it a name. And so I've been calling it the Buffalo County Whistle Stop Saloon. And if you'll let us, me and Cece are going to try and take you there. Christmas lights on an August night, flash red and green on a barroom fight. They're brothers who got sick of shooting pool. McGillicuddy's and Miller Lights make Tuesday feel like Friday night at the Buffalo County Whistle Stop Saloon. Closing time, not a minute too soon. Incandescent, hanging bare, a motel room, worse for wear, a swimming pool with the lean back lounger seats. I walk slow like in a dream down a hallway lit by a snack machine. I can hear the music coming from across the street. It's country music, but it sounds like a These are the places that I go and I find this old world has got me out of my mind, and it's all too much to bear. It's more about the leaving than the getting there. The barmaid's name is Indigo, in the Pabst Blue Ribbon neon glow. She's fighting hard, showing her age, but time won't wait, it sure don't fly. It just sorta passes by like miles on the 4-lane interstate. I think I hit the whistle stop too late. There are places you can go and you find this old world has got you out of your mind, when it's all too much to bear. It's more about the leaving than the getting there. Thank you. This February, I was invited to a Valentine's Day show. I know it. Think of that. Little old me playing for Valentine's Day. But I guess in Milwaukee, I've got a reputation as something of a romantic. And so I was invited to play an event that happens at a legendary rock club called the Cactus Club every Valentine's Day, called the Lonely Hearts Honky Tonk. And that's where they get a bunch of songwriters to come in, and there's a house band that backs you up, and you do 30-minute set of broken-hearted two-stepping songs. And I've got a lot of broken-hearted songs, but none of them are very good to two-step to, just because I never really thought about that before. And so I decided I better try and write something to satisfy the two-steppers. And my technique was I woke up one morning and decided to listen to every Merle Haggard record. And after about 2 of them, I thought, there has to be a better way. I love the Hag, there's nobody better, but he was no fool. He knew that you only had to put 2 good songs on every album and you'd sell just as many. So this is the song I ended up coming up with. Broken-hearted two-stepping number called Yours Is the Last Heart I'll Break. Darling, yours is the last heart I'll break. conversation ends this way nearly every night. My counterpart, a lonely heart under a neon light. I hate to disappoint you, but I think that I might. Yes, darling, yours is the last heart I'll break tonight. This life leaves me high and lonesome. I'm all tore up and blue. Oh, honey, I'm hurting for connection, but the answer isn't someone new. So as I depart alone once more, we'll both be alright. Darling, yours is the last heart I'll break tonight. Go ahead, Cece, give him something to cry about. Darling, you don't know me, but I've seen you before. You know every night it's another town, another lonely dance floor. Each night I'm a stranger, but not to that look in your eye. Yes, darling, yours is the last heart I'll break tonight. This life leaves me high and lonesome. I'm all tore up and blue. Oh, honey, I'm hurting for connection, but the answer isn't someone new. So as I depart alone once more, we'll both be alright. Darling, yours is the last heart I'll break tonight. Yes, darling, yours is the last heart I'll break tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll do one more that's going to be cut here next month. This one, still, some of these are still kind of trying to sort out the finer details. So thanks a lot for being willing to take a little peek behind the curtain and seeing the process. I wrote this one in part with my dear friend Soren Staff, who plays in a phenomenal band called Them Coolie Boys, who are on their farewell tour this summer. If you have a chance to go out and see them, I can't recommend it highly enough. But Soren and I, well, this all started because I had this idea that I thought was real clever. And I think that's all I really ought to tell you about it. I better make sure I can sing into this key. Yeah, I gotta bump this up a little bit. Cece and I were smoking all sorts of shit last night. That works better for some people than others, but I find that it makes it a little bit harder to sing the notes I want. Jake Allen, he can smoke anything he wants and sing whatever note you want him to sing. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, that's gonna be weird for you, isn't it?
Nope.
All right. Stained glass is just a dirty window by another name. They'll both let some light in, but don't feel the same. What do you call the difference between an heirloom and a hand-me-down? Where some folks see a ring of thorns, others see a crown. Jagged edges, torn at the seam. Holy treasure, holding our dreams. Winter in Wisconsin comes like a cannonball, stinging the skin, awakening, make you forget the fall. Springtime is a seedling and doesn't make a sound until the peepers peek their heads up from the frozen ground. Jagged edges, torn at the seam. Holy treasure, holding our dreams. The way we've been living lately, baby, it ain't no good. So I'm coming home tomorrow, like I said I would. And jagged edges, torn at the seam. Holy treasure, holding our dreams. Thank you. Thank you very much. Maybe we'll do a couple more and then have a cigarette. That sound all right, Eric? Cool. Sounds pretty good to me too. Yeah, this is a real honor to be trying out this brand new stuff on you here tonight. Rochester, thanks so much for coming out and listening close. We'll do this is one I put out on that last record, but I've actually never played it live before. I wrote it about wildfires, and I just didn't really enjoy thinking about them. And now they're back, and we're breathing them. So I think I better just confront that fear a little bit and sing this song. I'm gonna tune this guitar first. Boy, how do these things even work, dude? 1 minute they're just where you like them, and the next, whatever. Can't hold on to anything too tightly these days, can you, Rochester? Okay, that's not the right one. Here's what I want. All right, here's one for the smoky days.
Wildfire song?
We gotta just figure out how it starts here. Okay, I got it. Thank you. In the valley with the live oak and cottonwood, man's in need of blooms when the weather's good. It's been too long without a rain. Come on, babe, tell the story of the flood again. And 2x2, 4x4, this house is built of timber, roof to the floor. And there's no way it won't burn. I'm praying to an angry God, this is what we get in return. Way out west, a fire burns, cigarette ash on a dried out fern, red sunset, hot as sin. And come on, babe, tell the story of the flood again. And 2x2, 4x4, this house is built of timber, roof to the floor. And there's no way it won't burn. I'm praying to an angry God, this is what we get in return. Thank you very much. That one's for you. Better have one for myself too while we're at it. Cheers, everybody. I was booked to play one night in Kansas City, Kansas at a bar called Hillsiders. What I like about Hillsiders is that they book music 7 nights a week. That's one of my favorite things about a bar. What I don't like about Hillsiders is that the Tuesday night gig goes from 9 to midnight. That's ridiculous. I love a 5 in the afternoon gig. Thanks, Eric.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that's perfect. 9 to midnight's wild, but the really crazy part of this particular 9 to midnight shift was that we were scheduled to be in Taos, New Mexico the following day at 4 in the afternoon to load into a hotel gig there. And if anybody still has a road atlas in that little pocket behind your driver's seat, you might also know that that's about 14 hours to do a 12-hour drive. And you can believe me when I tell you I was worried about it. But I believe that when you're doing what you're meant to be doing in this life, you open yourself up to experiencing something that I like to call everyday magic. And that can look like a lot of different things, but most often I think it's like little road signs that pop up along your way to indicate that you're moving in the right direction. Could be a person or the way the sun hits something. Or on this particular night, the everyday magic we experienced was finishing the gig. My bandmate happened to lose his cell phone as we were loading out, so we spent about 45 minutes trying to find that. And then we hit the road around 1:15. And as soon as I hit the highway, I was like one of those train cars that gets its power from an electrified third rail. The more I drove, the more I wanted to drive. I didn't even get sleepy. And we made it to Taos on time. Thank you very much. I think it's pretty impressive, too. I didn't expect to make that gig on time even when we were like an hour out. I was like, there's no fucking way this is happening. But I'll be damned, we did it. And played the gig, everything went great. And then I slept in the parking lot for 15 hours in the back of the van. I think I earned it. But the real remarkable thing here is that the most direct way to get from Kansas City, Kansas to Taos, New Mexico is a 2-lane stretch of blacktop road called Highway 56. And I think that's really unique. That's a long way to go without an interstate being the way to get there, don't you think?
I'd say.
And so Highway 56, it's really something else. I'm a disciple of a book called Blue Highways by William Least Heat Moon. Anybody here read that one before? Oh, good. You read it. Yeah. If anybody else reads books, I think this ought to be at the top of your list. Blue Highways. Anyway, I've always had an appreciation for like the odd roadside things, you know, the sorts of things that you see little like homemade billboards for, not the conventional billboards. And anyway, Highway 56 is full of that shit, and I hope to one day do that drive in the daylight. But to commemorate this experience and that remarkable bit of everyday magic, I wrote this song that I'm calling the Highway 56 Blues. And that's the one we're going to play for you next, but before we do it, I'm going to tell you that this song is for sale. You see, in it, I name about a dozen Kansas towns, and I think the average American can only name like 4 or 5. Nothing against the average American, that's just how maps work. And so I think there's got to be a market for a song like this, maybe with the Kansas Department of Tourism, or the Chamber of Commerce, or the DOT. So if you know anybody, please tell them about us. In the meantime, here's the Highway 56 Blues. That 56 highway, it's a mighty fine road. It'll get you from Elkhart up to Gladstone and get out of Dodge City. Try Council Grove, it'll get you to Springer. Stop short of Cimarron. The sun went down in old KC. I was on the west side, but in misery. So I start driving. Next thing I know, the sun come up in New Mexico. That 56 highway, it's a mighty fine road. It'll get you from Elkhart up to Gladstone and get out of Dodge City. Don't you wanna go? It'll get you to Springer. Stop short of Cimarron. Yes, I remember sublet around 4 a.m. My buddy was sleeping and I envied him. And then the ground started shaking right where he lay. I'll be goddamn, he dreamed a train. Whoa! That 56 highway, it's a mighty fine road. It'll get you from Elkhart up to Gladstone and get out of Dodge City. Hey babe, let's go. It'll get you to Springer and not quite Cimarron. Coffee in Clayton, you know it well. Wish I could move in to the Eckland Hotel, but I gotta keep driving through this land. Sangre de Cristo and the Rio Grande. That 56 highway, it's a mighty fine road. It'll get you from Elkhart up to Gladstone and get out of Dodge City. Hey babe, let's go. Fell in love in Springer, stop short in Cimarron. Fell in love in Springer, fell asleep in Cimarron. All right, thank you so much. I think we'll take a short break now. We can all kind of get our wiggles out and then come back for another round. My name's Simon Cropp. This is CC. I'll be standing over here at the merchandise table and try and sell you a T-shirt or a bumper sticker or a postcard or anything CC's wearing is for sale. We're operating kind of a bidding system on all that stuff. So come talk to me. Thank you. Check 1, 2. Hear me now, check 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Check 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Check 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Think about my troubles, well, I got one. If every man is a setting sun, what's he gonna do when the day is done? He's all alone. Well, if he's lucky, he might have a friend, or have a lover he could call again, companion in the howling wind. No one should be alone. Hear me now? Can you hear me now? You wanna hear my troubles? Well, I got two. The distance from me, the distance to you. I know you're feeling blue, baby, I am too. I'm so far from home. I guess we're lucky we both have a friend. We're lovers and we'll see each other again. Hear my voice in the howling wind. I'm coming home. Talk about troubles, well, I got three. The distance from you, the distance to me, the difference between where I'm going, where I'll be, and where you are. If we're lucky, we might have a friend, lovers, and see each other again. Call my name in the howling wind. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hey, welcome back. Wow. I'd like to give a special thank you to my dear friend Abe behind the bar.
Thanks for the malort. Feels like home.
Abe brought some pickled quail eggs to the bar today. Anybody try those pickled quail eggs yet? If you haven't, you could talk to Evan and Gina. They're keeping the eggs there. There they are. Look at those things. Evan will spear up one of those eggs for you. And we're going to dedicate this next song to Abe. I grew up not too far from here in the town of Decorah, Iowa. And, well, I don't know if I really need to tell you this story. I don't think I will. We'll just play the song. No, you don't want to hear this one, do you? Okay, all right, I'll tell you the story, Jake. Decorah, Iowa defies people's expectations of what Iowa is like. what makes that northeast corner of the state unique is a lot very similar to what makes southeast Minnesota unique. We were missed by those glaciations most recently 10,000 years ago, which means that in northeast Iowa, we got these very cold trout streams and limestone bluffs and ice caves. These are all things that make driving a combine in a straight line for miles and miles very difficult. And so as a result, we've got a farmer's market scene that's just absolutely out of control. Any given Wednesday, Thursday, or Saturday, you can get the best pepper jelly of your life for $4, or a wheelbarrow load of ham hocks for like $10. These are all things that would cost your paycheck at a Whole Foods. But at the farmers markets where I was growing up, you could get them for damn near nothing. And then I moved out to Portland, Oregon, and realized that you can call a lot of different things a farmer's market. I love that city. I miss it all the time, but when I was asked to pay $10 for a croissant, I knew that maybe it wasn't for me in the long run. So the song we're going to sing is a love song that originates in a farmer's market, not dissimilar from the town I grew up in, probably not too dissimilar from the town you grew up in. It's the story of unlikely love between Mrs. Jansen and Mr. Kaplan. And it goes like this. Where I'm from is nothing like Hollywood. And people pretty much always do like they should. Step out of line, word gets around. Yeah, it ain't easy doing wrong in this town. Sound familiar, Rochester? But right and wrong, they aren't always clear. And you sure as hell can't believe everything you hear. So what I'll tell you, take it with a grain of salt. But I heard old Mrs. Jansen's been stepping out. Whoa! Saturday morning at the old farm stand, they're selling all the fruits of their labor and the land, keeping every secret of the love they had. The Mennonite mama and the hippy-dippy dad. Crazy Mr. Kaplan, he's a real old head. Apparently he dropped out of high school to follow the dead. He told me Jeremy Jewell once asked him to sit in on bass, but a little too much too fast left him sleeping side stage. So now he drives on the rural mail route, and them country folks, they'll often help him out. Mrs. Jansen thinks That Kaplan has an artist's eye. So she helps him to sell his beads and trippy tie-dye. Saturday morning at the old farm stand, they're selling all the fruits of their labor and the land, keeping every secret of the love they had. The Mennonite mama and the hippy dippy dad. You still with us, Rochester? Well, as you can imagine, there's a lot of speculation about this old pair. It's anybody's guess what's really going on out there. But if you ask me, it's not hard to comprehend. And there's really nothing wrong with having a real close friend, is there? Saturday morning at the old farm stand, selling all the fruits of their labor in the land. They're keeping every secret of the love they had. The Mennonite mama and the hippy dippy dad. It's the Mennonite mama and the hippy dippy dad. Thank you very much. You can try some of Mrs. Jansen's quail eggs up there at the bar. I encourage you to do that. A dear friend of ours is a music promoter in Eastern Iowa. And he called me up one day. He said, "Simon, I did it. I booked my white whale." Any Melville readers with us tonight? This is the act he'd been hoping to book his whole life. It's an old songwriter and troubadour that's been driving around the country for 40 years. And my buddy was so excited, he called me up and asked if I would open the show. I said, yeah, I'd be honored to. This guy's my hero, too. The day the show came around and everything went perfectly. Show sold out, a great crowd, and everybody was real happy. And at the end of the night, it's just me, my buddy, the music promoter, my buddy's wife, and this old artist, this old troubadour, sitting around the fire at the cabin. My buddy and I go inside to make another round of drinks, and we're looking out through the cabin window, and there by the fire, we see this old songwriter down on one knee proposing to my buddy's wife. He looks to me and says, "Man, what do I do? I love my wife, but, you know, this guy's my hero. It'd be my dream to be asked to get in his van and drive around with him." I said, "Buddy, I think we just wait this one out." And that's what we did. And after a little bit of deliberation, they appeared to have finished their conversation. We went back out. And turns out she said no. They got a family and a good thing going, but she kept the ring. Which means something, I'm sure. I haven't quite figured out what. But we'll play you that story now. Just as soon as we get into some agreement here on intonation, I guess. That's a little peek behind the folk music process. We're just trying to keep our eyes and ears open. A quarter shot of Malort, and CC just over here twisting their knobs.
I failed to learn my lesson over and over again.
All right, here's how it goes. On a night just like this, I bore witness to a desperate man's desperate plea. In the glow of the embers, I clearly remember the ragged old man bent down on a knee. Ragged old man down on a knee. Singing, sweet Emily, why won't you come with me? I gave you my love and this ring on my hand. We'll never grow old, me and this band of gold. So come and settle on down with your rambling man. Won't you settle on down with your rambling man? From Champaign, Urbana to Old Texarkana, I've been around the world, one bar at a time. Seen every honky-tonk angel, been low down and shameful. So dear Emily, let me have you for mine. Sweet Emily, let me have you for mine. In sunny St. Louis, I knew quite a beauty. She spun me around and went on her way. I shook through the night and left at first light. I've been beat down and battered to stand here today. Beat down and battered to stand here today. Sing, sweet Emily, why won't you come with me? I gave you my love and this ring on my hand. We'll never grow old, me and this band to go. Thank you very much. I was telling a friend that story who also knows this old troubadour. Maybe I'll tell you later, Nicky. And he said, "Oh, did he show you his bag?" Like, what do you mean, show me his bag? Apparently, this old songwriter has been driving around the country for the better part of 40 years with a purple Crown Royal bag of engagement rings in his van. Said, "Man, I got something to learn. I live in my van too." Let's see, what do we want to do now? All right, I got it. We're going to do one I wrote with my buddy John Waite, Iowa State Fair Blue Ribbon Flat Picker. Good buddy. We were together on the day that Senator Joni Ernst, when she was asked, what she was going to do about the water crisis in Iowa. I don't know if you guys know about this, but pretty much all the surface water in Iowa is poisonous, and it started to infiltrate the groundwater, and there's a lot of boil notices and whatever. All because of unchecked agricultural pollution. And somebody was like, cancer rates in Iowa are far higher than any other state in the country. What are you going to do about it? And she said, not to worry about it because we're all going to die anyway. And that didn't sit too well with me. So John and I were together on that day, and we wrote this song about our beloved and troubled home state. Song we're calling Dollar Generals. Life is but a dream. There's plastic in the trees. There's a poison on the breeze and in the water. Merrily we glide down a river of pesticides. It's in all the tears we cry and in the water. Hard times all around. We're the last ones in this town. Just a park with an Indian mound and a Dollar General. But her love hit me like a train. So it's here we will remain, among the bins of grain and the Dollar General. Heard it on the radio, saw it on the TV too. Seems like lots of folks around here are getting some real bad news. Around mid to late July, when the corn is 10 feet high, it makes a heat dome in the sky that surrounds us. And we walk down the lane in the cool summer rain, try to ease the suffering pain that's all around us. And life is but a dream. There's plastic in the trees. There's a poison on the breeze and in the water. Merrily we glide. The senator didn't lie. She looked us in the eye, said we're all gonna die. It's in all the tears we cry. It's in all the tears we cry and in the water. Thank you. Not all bad news, though. There's a fellow running for the Secretary of Agriculture named Chris Jones. If you know any Iowans, you should see if they heard of Chris Jones. He is, a real hopeful prospect. A fellow who understands how there's a big difference between helping farmers and helping corporate agriculture, and he's really interested in helping farmers. So we're all pulling for Chris Jones. Those of us that like breathing air and drinking water down there. We're going to do a song of hope. This is about a river in Iowa that I do love, that you can still swim in without coming out green. It's also about the power of looking at a body of water to really turn things around, I find that if I'm ever stuck in a, kind of mental loop that I can't seem to get myself out of, looking at a body of water like a river or a lake or an ocean, if I'm lucky, is kind of the best thing to just sort of reset, those troubled thought patterns. So here's the Turkey River Turnaround. I let my deal go down in a sawmill town. Nothing left to do but to hang around. 30-odd winters, a handful of splinters, laid that dream in the ground. Hey, 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 Turkey River, turn around. A little hard living, then you turn it around. Hey, Turkey River, turn around. There's better days coming down. Well, it's been real hard going and we're bad year bound. A good year tire on a effigy mound. Row corn planted through golden Alexander, and plowing up the sacred ground. Hey, 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 Turkey River, turn around. A little hard living and you turn it around. Hey, Turkey River, turn around. There's better days coming down. How about that good news? There's a leaf litter floor, a sunlight crown, a burned scar prairie past the edge of town. Hardwood timber, a muddy water swimmer, taking in whatever peace can be found. Hey, 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 Turkey River, turn around. A little hard living and you turn it around. Hey, Turkey River, turn around. There's better days coming down. How about that ragtime band with the old-time sound, the halftime feel, and it all breaks down. We're piecing it together, making hay in any weather. I'll see you when I get back to town. Hey, 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 Turkey River, turn around. A little hard living and you turn it around. Hey, Turkey River, turn around. There's better days coming down, down. Hey, 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 Turkey River, turn around. A little hard living and you turn it around. Hey, Turkey River, turn around. There's better days coming down. All right, thank you. Boy, oh boy. Holy cow, look at that. Thanks, Abe. Sorry.
For what it's worth, this is my favorite chipmunk out of the 3 chipmunks associated with Alvin. It's Theodore. The drummer, I believe.
What do you mean? We'll do another new one that we'll be cutting here next month, I think. This is as it so often happens, some of the most fun I've ever had in my life and some of the least fun I ever had in my life occurred within 48 hours of each other. Isn't the world funny? But this is a song about the best house party I've ever had the pleasure of going to. I love anything called a house party, I'm coming to realize. Dinners, going over to some place for dinner is nice. Going over to hang out at somebody's house is nice. But if you're calling what we're doing a house party, we're in for a hell of a night. So that's just something I'm kind of thinking about today, I guess. All right, here's a new one here about the house party. How's that go again? I think I want to do it on this other guitar, though. We're really just figuring this out.
Who's your favorite chipmunk?
Dude, this is so wild. I was having a conversation about the chipmunks at 4:30 this morning. And I was realizing I don't remember a single thing about the chipmunks except for how they talk. I told you at the beginning of the show we weren't going to do accents, so I'm not going to do it again, but those guys really talk pretty funny. Right? I'm remembering that part, right? Sure. And then, anybody remember when they did Bad to the Bone? Yeah, me neither, but somebody's saying that for me as the Chipmunks before the sun rose this morning. It was really bizarre, man. Chipmunks doing Bad to the Bone. Is that George Thorogood? Yeah. So anyway, I'm switching these guitars is what I'm doing. Boy, you guys better watch out. We're starting to get kind of loose up here. Cece might get down to about half a shot of Malort.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, good job, really? Holy shit. Oh, my God. You guys keep an eye on my friend here. That's, wow, a whole shot of Malort, huh? Good job, buddy.
Down the hatch.
Want another?
Well, problem is I never say no.
All right. This house is made for dancing. There's music in the walls. Floorboards hold the footprints of the ones who slip and fall. So come strike up the band, boys, before sunrise comes too soon. Fucking A, man, this is really tough, isn't it? Am I doing something wrong?
No, you're doing great.
All right, I'm gonna...
Isn't Simon doing great, everybody?
So come strike up the band, boys, before sunrise comes too soon. We'll make like moon and sun and stars spinning around the room, singing light, da da da. Come on, take my hand, do-si-do down the line. I'll mind again. Light, da 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 da. Circle with no end. Spin your partner round and round till love comes back again. There's a cooler on the front porch, smokers in the back. Old friends and new lovers are all cutting each other slack. And a lady in the corner, she comes out once a year. You'd think her head would split in half, grinning ear to ear, singing light, da 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 da. Come on, take my hand, do-si-do down the line. I'll mind again. Light, da 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 da. Circle with no end. Spin your partner round and round till love comes back again. Well, you can't get through the kitchen. They're lined up arm in arm. Coat tops overcrowded with a bounty from the farm. The banjo punks and rednecks play a crooked old time tune. They're howling like coyotes at the big old flower moon, singing light, da da da. Come on, take my hand, do-si-do down the line. I'll mind again. Light, da da da. Circle with no end. Spin your partner round and round till love comes back again. Well, I wish you could have seen it. I wish that you were there. We'd sing and dance and laugh and cry till our lungs ran out of air. Well, I see you in the shadow of the big old flower moon. Are you up there with the sun and stars spinning around the room, singing light, da da da. Come on, take my hand, do-si-do down the line. I'll mind again. Light, da da da. Circle with no end. Spin your partner round and round till love comes back again. Lie-di-da-da-di. Come on, take my hand. Do-si-do down the line. I'll amount again. Lie-di-da-da-di. Circle with no end. Spin your partner round and round till love comes back again. All right. Thank you. Thanks for singing, man. Yeah. Boy, thank you so much. What do you think? Should we let CC sing one? Yeah. I think so. Why don't you do It Takes One to Know One?
Works for me.
What key do you do that in?
Apple.
All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friend CC Cosgrove from Chicago, Illinois.
This is a Jimmy Martin tune. Jimmy Martin's one of my heroes, but luckily he died before I ever got to see him propose to my wife. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Little darling, you stand out in the crowd. You're talking and laughing much too loud. But I see a little tear peeking through. It takes one to know one, and I know you. It takes one to know one, and I know you. Each little tear to your smile I see through. You've been hurt, you're frightened, and you're so blue. It takes one to know one, and I know you. Little darling, please take hold of my hand. You go right on and cry, I'll understand. But pay no mind if I start crying too. It takes one to know one, and I know you. It takes one to know one, and I know you. Each little tear to your smile I see through. You've been hurt, you're frightened, and you're so blue. It takes one to know one, and I know you. Take one, son. Smile I see through. You've been hurt, you're frightened, and you're so blue. It takes one to know one, and I know you. It takes one to know one, and I know you.
Nice singing, buddy.
Thanks, Simon. Means a lot coming from you.
All right. Anything you want to hear that we haven't done yet? That's no pressure to have an answer for that.
What about your story about sitting on the Mississippi River across the way?
Oh, boy, all right. Yeah, sure thing, buddy. Okay. CC and I had done a lot of miles together. I think I told you that already. We play in a band called Slapdash Bluegrass. And that band, as we like, our favorite thing to do is driving up and down the Mississippi River. And one day we were coming from Prairie du Chien, I think, and we had a gig in River Falls, Wisconsin. And so we were killing time at a place called the Harbor Bar there in Hager City, Wisconsin, across the river from Red Wing, Minnesota. Anybody been to the Harbor Bar before? Yeah, good job for leaving, everybody. That's a hard place to leave. That's what I found. And I was sitting at the end of the dock there. It's a bar with a dock. It's my favorite kind of bar. And talking to this guy who was there on his lunch break, which is what time of day it was, and looking across at beautiful Red Wing, Minnesota. But I had been drinking banana daiquiris that day, which is the special of the day. I think it might be the special every day. And after several banana daiquiris, I'd kind of lost track of where I was, and we were talking about this and that and everything else. And I kind of leaned back and looked across the river and said, man, I don't think I ever really appreciated how beautiful Winona is. And that crusty old dog food factory employee didn't have the heart to tell me where I really was. But it didn't matter because the banjo player was driving that day. And so we're going to try and do this one here. I'm going to hammer on this thing, Eric, if you wouldn't mind turning me down a little bit. Thanks, buddy.
Give it up for Rick, everybody.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job. And Rick's a nice guy, huh? I mean, few and far between like that. Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Noontime lunch break, feeling like a mistake, drinking at the Harbor Bar. Tall boys, boat decks, skinny dipping rednecks, a special on PBR. Thought I was in Winona all the while, rolling down the river wider than the Minnesota Mile. I come alive in an all-day dive bar, so baby, don't you cramp my style. It's my one day off this week, and I'm gonna go wild. 2, 3, 4. Discount cigarettes, haven't kicked the habit yet. I'm down to half a pack a day. My brother's stealing asshole, I just got paid in cash, so I guess I'll stay another day. Ladies in Hastings are just my style. I'm rolling down the river wider than a Minnesota Mile. I come alive in an all-day dive bar, so baby, don't you cramp my style. It's my one day off this week, and I'm gonna go wild. There's a heady bluegrass band picking in a pine stand, singing about heartbreak, high times, getting baked, something about a sweet pickle jar. Lake City, come on pretty baby, let me stay a while. Rolling down the river, wider than a Minnesota mile. Come alive in an all-day dive bar, so baby, don't you cramp my style. It's my one day off this week and I'm gonna go wild. Well, Abe has got a buzz on, he's been here all day long, serving to the card-playing crowd. They tipping nickels, sneaking shots of Dickel. It's peaceful for the night gets too loud. I get back to Rochester once in a while. Rolling down the river, wider than a Minnesota mile. I come alive in an all-day dive bar, so baby, don't you cramp my style. It's my one day off this week and I'm gonna go wild. Hey, thanks for the request, Billy. All right. Boy, that's kind of, we haven't done that one for a while, I think. That's fun to do. Play loud. Go. I think we got one more song to play, I think, and then we'll all get back to doing whatever it is we thought we'd be doing tonight. Thanks so much for coming and joining us here at the Shoe Beverage Bar. We love this place. It's so nice. I think, you know, some of my first gigs were probably in Rochester, and it's really nice to finally have a place that feels like home here. Thanks so much to Eric and Abe and all those other one-syllable names that I have a hard time remembering. Each one lovelier than the last, but who else is here? Bill, Pat, Matt, Jack, Jake, yeah. I'm not crazy. There are a lot of one-syllable names involved in this place. That's great. Keeps it simple. Tim, you're here. Yeah. Nikki, what are you doing here, man? Okay, yep. But we do this all over the place. And I can tell you with certainty that there are not a lot of venues like the Shoe. You know, it's a real pleasure not to be jammed in between the pool table and the TV, asking the bartender to please turn the radio down, because to turn the radio off would be completely unacceptable. Hey, V. All right. So here's a song for all those worst gigs. Then let's drink another beer. Nope. A bar in Pasadena, next to the tortilleria, I'm getting talked at in the middle of my song. He's a Los Angelino, so what the hell does he know? He tells me that I got it all wrong. And this ain't the big time, it's barely a good time. We're playing 10 till bar time. That's a 4-hour show. For 2 nickels and a thin dime. least there's no 1099. Playing the barfly rodeo. Then it's a beer joint in Barstow, where a cowboy might still go if he rode a dually with a lift. You know I'm a professional, can't afford to be discretional. So I grinned and bared and finished my shift. Singing, this ain't the big time, it's barely a good time. We're playing 10 till bar time. That's a 4-hour show for 2 nickels and a thin dime, and a pour of the house wine. At least there's no 1099. Playing the barfly rodeo. The barfly rodeo. Thank you so much, CC Cosgrove. My name's Simon Cropp. Tim, Rick, Abe, Nick, Dan, Tom, Bill, Jack. All right, we love you guys. Thanks so much for being so nice to us. We hope to see you again sometime. Have a good one.